have our WARMAN brands, of course. We also have our CAVEX cyclones and our Linatex premium rubber. So within all those brands, we can offer key solutions to our customers to provide great efficiency, great uptime.
It's also changing the mentality of the customer to understand the maintenance cycle of new equipment that Weir has to offer as well. It's meeting the right people. It's expanding the network, as you mentioned, so that we're talking to the people that have influence over how the equipment gets maintained.
We want to partner with our customers to grow their business and trust, and in the end, that's going to grow our business.
Hello, welcome to Mining Now. I'm your host, Jared Downey, and today we have another episode featuring Weir, and we've got, I think, two new guests. Neither one of you have been on the show before, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Two new guests. We've got Shane Williams, General Manager, Hard Rock Mining at Weir, and we've got Nick Lancaster, Product Manager, Dewatering, Thickened Tailings, and Mine Backfill at Weir, right? Thickened Tailings. I was going to say thickeners, and I realized, no, it's not, but I got it right.
You got it.
Gentlemen, welcome both of you to the show. Good to have you on.
Thank you.
Let's just start with both your roles with the company, just so people understand what you're doing. Nick, maybe we'll start with you.
Sure. So as I mentioned there, that I'm a product manager with Weir, responsible for dewatering and tailings. So covering things from underground dewatering, open pit dewatering, and tailings management from reclaimed water and the tailings disposal applications.
Shane?
So I'm the general manager for Hard Rock Mining Canada, and I'm responsible for any hard rock mining operations and customers from Newfoundland to Vancouver.
Okay. What are we going to sort of be focusing on? We're going to kind of have three brands within Weir that we're sort of zeroing in on today. What are those three?
Those three brands are WARMAN from our pump product line, our CAVEX cyclones, and our Linatex rubber, premium rubber, sorry.
I was doing a little, I won't go off on too much of a tangent, but I was doing a little dive on the history of WARMAN pumps. It's quite fascinating, actually.
It is. It started from one little pump, and it kept on moving from there. So it's our WARMAN brand is our premium product. That's what Weir is known for at the moment.
Well, and that is also sort of what Weir is known for in general, right? It's like you hear that brand, there's a certain premium insinuation that kind of goes right. It's one of those brands, right?
There is. The WARMAN product is it's a proven product. It's a great product that we have in the industry at the moment, and we have a long track record of proven success stories and low cost TCOs for lower WARMAN products. So it's a great product to have in your plant, and it can go anywhere from a cyclone feed to tailings, and anywhere in between.
And it's fun just in all those products that you just mentioned, though, is there's kind of integrated throughout. It's sort of this premium Weir products throughout the processing plant.
There is, and that's what we're doing right now. We're focusing on selling solutions, actually, and in those solutions, we have our WARMAN brands, of course. We also have our CAVEX cyclones and our Linatex premium rubber. So within all those brands, we can offer key solutions to our customers to provide great efficiency, great uptime, and for them in turn to make more money, which that's where we want to partner with. We want to partner with our customers to grow their business and trust, and in the end, that's going to grow our business. So.
And I'd like to ask both of you, maybe Nick, start with you, is innovation. This is my sense. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like innovation used to come from companies like Weir. They would keep challenging themselves and make better and better products. I feel like now that is still happening, but now you have the operators, because of things like sustainability and ESG, there's more of a demand for the innovation. They need to be more efficient. They need, they've got less people to do more jobs, that sort of thing. Would you think that would be a fair assessment from, the Weir side?
Certainly. Now, I mean, on the product perspective, we're always looking for ways to increase wear life components too. So you talked about maintenance. How do we extend the maintenance cycle for them so you have less intervention? On the process side of things, we're always looking for ways to become more sustainable, certainly from an environmental perspective and a water consumption perspective.
Yeah, just to add to that, water consumption and reduction right now is one of our key focuses, but also power reduction in our circuits.
Right.
So those two things right now are key, and reduction in waste. That's the three key items right now that we're looking at when we talk with our customers.
Because on the processing side, fluid processing, that's where a lot of that power gets drawn from, right?
Yes, it is. And when we look at some of our newer products, there's less water used, there's less power used. So in today's world, water consumption is a big issue.
Yeah. And
we are trying to look for solutions to be able to maximize or minimize the amount of water used in our production.
Well, I was going to say there's the minimize, but then there was also that make sure. Like I think that the CAVEX too, because I was watching. Yes. Like there's the CAVEX. The first one I think was 96, if I have it right. Then the new one came out in 2020. Do I have my years right?
Yep.
What is the upgrade on this?
So it's a different system. It's a different feed chamber. The cyclone is actually a little longer. So within that cyclone, you can do 30% more throughput, but it also uses less water and less energy. So when you look at that from a standpoint from an operations, the operator can use less cyclones in a cluster to get more throughput. Right. But it also and when you're building a plant and you use these new cyclones, you can also, it's an upfront lower cost. Right. Because instead of using and buying 6 cyclones, you can put in 4 and get the same throughput or a little more. So right now, that's one of the big advantages of using these CAVEX too.
Yeah. I also wanted to, and the Linatex, we touched on it, but we talked a little bit about WARMAN. I wanted to just talk about, because that's again, another very, very weird type product. It's, lasts longer, premium.
The Linatex brand rubber right now is one of our best solution providers for our customers, actually. We are seeing great wear and great testing and different areas throughout the plants. We've provided some great TCOs back to customers. I can give you one example right off the top of my head. We did a trial back at one of our customer sites, and we had 3 O's companies side by side. And the prior wear life was 6 weeks. And that company was there, our product was there, and there was another company there. The original product lasted 6 weeks. The second company came in about 1.5 years, and we went 2.5 years, and we rotated our hose.
There's no need to show off.
No, I'm just saying. But we provided a great solution to the customer, and right now we have all that screen feed hose business. Yeah, and we've also done that last year in a few other sites within Canada. Yeah, trialed it and tested it, and it's proven. It provides great wear life, and therefore reducing maintenance, but also increases your uptime for your run or your plant.
And again, I'd like to ask both of you this and I'm always fascinated by a company that operates at the scale that Weir does, but you still have to educate the audience, because there's still someone using something it's going to last 6 months, or it comes with the product they bought, so now it's a wear part, so they have to know when to pivot. How do you sort of, because you have this massive network, how do you sort of make sure that people understand the difference?
Well, I think the other big thing is that Weir is traditionally known for our pumps and cyclones, and there's a wide variety of other products that we have. So it's also changing the mentality of the customer to understand the maintenance cycle of new equipment that Weir has to offer as well. It's meeting the right people. It's expanding the network, as you mentioned, so that we're talking to the people that have influence over how the equipment gets maintained.
Yeah.
For us, or for me, it's building those partnerships and then trust. Once you have those partnerships and trust built into the customers and Weir, it's a win-win situation. It's a proven we have to work together to trial our products, but also to help the customer grow their efficiencies and help them get further throughput and make some great recoveries.
So I touched on it earlier, but I wanted to get into it a little bit more. Is just that service network that you had, exchange, rebuilds. There's quite a bit that goes into it. So I actually was hoping you could walk us through what that looks like.
Yeah, sure. What we've done at Weir is looked at our service centers and looked at how they relate to our customer sites. So they are placed strategically throughout Canada and other facilities, other countries, should say, so that we are closer to our customers. From there, we can help support our customers and through reman programs, through exchange programs, but also when that product comes back from an OEM service center, it's a new product. So you're giving that customer back the reliability and life that they received when they first buy that product in the beginning.
What does a network look like, though? Like when we're talking about physically being close to these networks, what does that actually look like on the ground in terms of even from a global footprint?
I'll give you an example. My hometown, we are in a location. We are centered around 4 iron ore mines.
Okay.
Within 45-kilometer radius. So that is strategically placed that we made the decision that we were going to put a service center right in that one area to be able to better support that group, those mines. From there, you start building your networks, you're building your customer partnerships, and we're there to support the guys. We get calls all the time to go to site, quickly, but that's what it's all about, is being able to react, and those service centers there in those key positions allows us to do that.
Is that you have a program called Next? Is that part of that, or is that something different?
That is something different. That is a part of our new products and new innovation that we're looking at. So the next system will allow our customers to have real-time monitoring of the equipment. So it's a digital system, and it's something that our customers have been asking us for, and we have responded, and we are working through a lot of different things at the moment, developing that network. So the next system can go in the WARMAN pumps, it can go in the CAVEX cyclones, but it also can go in the Linatex piping, hoses, and so on. So this helps prevent breakdowns. I'll give you an example for Linatex.
You know how many people I try to ask for examples, and you just have them ready. Please keep going.
But it's one of our products is our Linatex hose, and you can put a Weir sensor right on the Linatex hose, and it's a pretty simple sensor. It's a red light, yellow light, green light.
Right.
Green light, you're good. Yellow light is a warning. Red light, okay, if it's time to change. So it gives our customers, once it goes to yellow, it gives our customers the opportunity to plan for that change out strategically, not in a breakdown mode. So it's planned. They have the parts ready. The downtime is reduced, so it helps everyone overall. Okay,
now I want to pivot a little bit over to you, Nick, on the tailing side. Some of our most popular episodes have actually been tailing management. It's a big thing people love to talk about in the industry. Maybe let's just talk about Weir, their role in it, and then we'll dive into some specifics.
Sure. So more recently, Weir's been developing a full new range of transformational flow sheets for tailings management with the real purpose to help our customers reduce and repurpose their tailings. So part of this, we recognize that every customer has different requirements, and they're going to have unique constraints. So the flow sheet approach that we're working on here helps to allow us to provide kind of a trade-off approach to show the advantages and disadvantages of a bunch of different options that they can consider.
So I wanted to jump then into Terraflowing, and I wish I was trying to do a dive on it yesterday to understand it, and I was like, oh, I'm out of my element. I kind of got it, but I kind of need some help. So can you walk me through it a bit?
So Terraflowing, it's a proprietary dewatering process that Weir's developed for dewatering tailings. It's not based on one particular product, or it's not beholden to a specific technology. So it's more a combination of products that we can put together to come up with the process.
Okay, I don't feel quite as bad now, because I was getting a little confused. I was looking for the product, and I was like, I don't find any. Okay,
and that's it. It can be varied based on the site requirements.
Right.
So
okay.
we'll use different technologies based on what they're needing. If it's cycloning and thickening, screening, centrifuging, filtration, we can apply them intermingled to get to the end process that we need.
So, but you're doing it. So this is a separation process, though, right?
Yeah. It is. It's a dewatering process.
So what would, I mean, I guess if they're unique, what would the closest thing to a standardized schematic be?
Well, you're going to have some type of cycloning and screening, usually contained within most of them, but
This is coming after the milling. This is the tailings.
Yes, this is part of the tailings process. But again, we're not fixing ourselves just to this one process. It can be a combination of one. So if you want to create construction sand for TSF dam wall, for example, you can do that through using our CAVEX DE cyclone that you mentioned before, or just a combination of conventional cycloning and screening. So that would be one example.
Okay, so in some cases they're looking to actually reuse the product for a different application then.
Definitely. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So and now I saw in the next section there was, again, I'm trying to do this studying last night and realizing how little I know is a little embarrassing. But anyway, coarse particle flotation. Again, I know it, but I kind of don't know it enough to. So can you maybe walk us through it? I know there's you also have some sort of agreement with Aries, and so I wanted to get into that a little bit as well.
Yeah. So coarse particle flotation can be used in two spots, one in the mill circuit and in the tailings circuit as well. So coarse particle flotation, Weir wants to be able to offer this to our customers. So we have formed a cooperative agreement with Aries to apply this technology when it's the right solution within our Weir flow sheets.
Okay.
So in the mill circuit I mentioned, one of the benefits of coarse particle flotation is it's able to remove up to 40% of the coarse fraction of gangue earlier in the grinding process. So the benefit of what that does there on the tailing side is it's sending that reduction in that reduced amount of volume to the TSF. So you're having a lower tailings volume stream.
Okay. So actually, I think I want to circle back on it. Okay, so at the processing side, can you just walk through it again? What does that look like then?
So you're able to use a coarser grind essentially for when you're applying coarse particle flotation. So this is allowing you to still recover those minerals using the CPF technology with a coarser grind. So the benefit of it, as I mentioned, on top of the smaller volume of tailings going to TSF, it also reduces your energy consumption in your grinding circuit. Okay,
so this is part of this. Now, is it an increase? Now, because you're allowing a coarser grind, does that increase productivity then and decrease energy, or is that sort of the trade-off?
So it does both. But
it does both.
It does both, but the benefit, of course, is certainly a much lower energy consumption requirement for that process.
Right. And okay, so then on the tailing side, sorry, can you just walk me through it again, just so I have a better understanding of the advantages of it on the tailings?
So on the tailing side, one, you're going to have a smaller volume of TSF, a volume of solids going to the TSF. But the second thing is you're producing a coarser grind for the tailings. So what this is going to do is going to improve the quality of the tailings. They're going to be more stable, more suitable for use in the TSF. And they're also going to be able to be dewatered easier. So you're going to have more improved water recovery.
Okay. Something I always wonder when I'm hearing about these methods, what if a mine doesn't have that? Can it be integrated into an existing system, or does that kind of have to be done? Is it too expensive to add in later? If that makes sense, is a question.
Yeah. So if you're looking to optimize an existing brownfield site, this can certainly be added. It needs to be impacted, of course, upstream for the grinding process. But if you need to, for example, increase the life of your TSF by allowing for dewatered fluid, so you're again decreasing the overall volume of the flow going to your TSF. It will help those types of brownfield installations that are looking to extend the life of their TSF in this case.
And now I'm gonna stay with you, Nick, because I want to get into your technical centers. Again, this is actually something I was a little surprised I didn't know this, but I didn't. That you do have these slurry testing centers. Now, I didn't quite get to the part where I understood. Are these like global centers? Are they all over the world? Is there a couple central locations? What's the setup for these physically?
So yeah, we have a few centers spread across the globe. I'd say probably two of the main ones we have are in Venlo in the Netherlands and in Melbourne in Australia. So as you mentioned, they do slurry test work with the intention of being able to find the best overall process approach to use for a variety of processes within the mill and tailing circuit.
So what would that look like? Is that like a sample that's sent there, or do they replicate? They just replicate what is going to be on a site.
So we'll get customers to send samples so that we we can create slurry test work from various rheologies to be able to test different setups.
I feel like I'm bordering on a dumb question, but wouldn't that take quite a large sample to test that?
So we can do different size of testing. So we can test kind of a bench scale testing, or we can do larger pipe loop testing where it would require larger.
What would the volume of even a bench scale though be? It must still be not that small, right?
We would typically want to have something like I'd say, kind of a 20-liter pail would be good to provide for because you wanted to be able to do multiple tests with the same.
And you're testing for what?
You're testing the different rheologies. So you're testing for how this is going to perform, certainly within a dewatering application.
Mm-hmm.
How easily can it be dewatered? And then we also have a pipe test loop facility there as well. So we can do some various type of testing within the pipe test loop facility to see how will it flow, what are its settling characteristics, to provide those type of input data to pipeline.
Right. So this is the processing and the tailings. Again, here I go with more of these questions, but. What let's say you're in an open pit mine, doesn't the ore body can change? So is it best then to are you getting samples from different areas of it, or how does that part work?
It depends on the type of testing. I mean, from our technical center perspective, we want to develop a process that's going to work across the life cycle of the mine. So we need to know the variety of ore that we can get.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a fair comment to bring up, but it's something that would be a part of the overall testing regime.
Right. Does it but then your goal, if that's part of the testing, then if there's an optimal solution for this type and then it's a little bit different for that, then is it sort of finding that happy medium? Sorry if I'm going into the weeds too much. I'm just more my own curiosity.
So, I mean, we may find that different ore may react differently to different processes. So it could be that we need to have a different stream for different fractions of the.
Oh, that could happen.
It could happen.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, what is that process in terms of timeline? What would it take?
It depends on the testing regime. It can take anywhere from, I'd say, weeks to months, depending on the overall scope of testing that we need to do.
Okay. And then, Shane, just to bring you back in, when you're talking to, or your people are talking, what is the process of that day one call to the pump is actually sitting in the plant? Because some of these, I mean, you're starting from, they don't even know which pumps they're putting in, right? And it might be 5 years later before they even break ground. So when does Weir typically actually get involved in these plants?
Right now, we are trying to get involved very early from the design of the flow sheet to our customers. We are trying to establish that up front, and so we can see what they're looking and how they're looking to process, but also have our equipment there, but also see if we can get our equipment spec specifically into the flow sheet.
Yeah.
So we're doing test work, like Nick was saying, but also it's very important for us to get established quickly. And soon as we have numerous teams, process experts, and they are there to help with the engineering firms and so on to help look at things, but because sometimes we will pick up on things that others will miss and vice versa.
Right.
But it's so important that we collaborate with everyone and develop the correct flow sheet right from the start of the plant.
Right.
We've seen it too many times that the flow sheet characteristics can be a little off, and then the plant has to do a lot of things to optimize to get that process back, and that could be extra cost and so on. So we're trying to eliminate that up front and have the right equipment, right process, most efficiency, so we can get in there, get things moving quickly, so that customer can start generating revenue.
Nick, I got one more question for you. There's this concept, I've heard it before on the show, this, the turning waste to revenue concept. How much of that is reality? Is it being done? Can it be done better?
So, there's a couple examples of where we can do this on the tailing side. Using one of these Terraflowing processes that I talked about before, you can create some byproducts. So if you're going to turn waste into revenues, using byproducts, you can use them for constructing the TSF dam wall. That's adding value from the tailings. The other major one is for mine backfill. So this is another process. If you're talking about underground mining, for example, where you have a mined out stope and you need to access the ore that's beside it, you need to add back that structural integrity. And using the backfill material that you can get from tailings allows you to remove that value from the ore body, and that's coming from the value from the waste.
And then the last question over to you, and I'll try not to add too many more, but I might. Don't trust me when I say the last question. This goal of reducing water, reducing waste, obviously the mining industry is going for it. So it's sort of a two-part question. Is that from 10 years ago? How do you see it? Has it gotten better? And then the second part of that is new technology adoption, getting those into mines, and how do you test in a way that you can show a mine that's got millions and millions of dollars at stake to adopt the new technology? How does your team approach that?
So, from 10 years ago to now, there has been a significant increase in reduction of water in the process, just from different things from our cyclones. That's one thing. I'm thinking about our pumps. We've changed different ways of gland seals, different amounts of water going into the system, and so on. We're also looking at just reducing the amount of tailings that's going out. So you're reducing the water that's being used to pump the tailings right there.
Yeah.
So if you capture the correct product up front and get that better, reduce that waste, you don't have to move that waste.
Right.
So that's a key process right there that we're looking at. So the innovation right now, everyone that you talk to, and I've talked to many people here in this show this week, it's innovation. They want to understand how we can help them make them process more efficient.
Yeah.
So one of the key things would be our next system, and we had conversations about this with different groups, and customers want to be able to see what's going on inside that equipment without actually looking inside that equipment. And that's what we're offering at the moment. And that's where we're trialing, we're testing, we're getting there, and we will get there. And because we have to. It's so important right now to be able to do that and get a leg upon our competitors to be able to show that we have invested in this technology with the WARMAN products, CAVEX products, Linatex products. If you go down this route with the next system, it's going to reduce your maintenance costs.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lower TCO to operate,
Yeah,
and so many other different things. So it's a major right now. It's a hot topic when you talk to your customers.
it's interesting you're saying that though, because sometimes we think of innovation as this sort of big scale wholesale change. I remember a president got in trouble once because they said if everybody inflated their tires to the right thing, it would be they'd save 50% on their fuel. And everyone, oh, that's insensitive. And of course, me, the practical person, I went, that's 100% right.
Yep.
And it's true.
Is.
If everybody had properly inflated tires, the consumption of fuel would drop. I think it's about 50. I don't know the exact number. But there's a lot of that, right? Just knowing the where, the shutdown time, making sure that's right, knowing when to do it. Just they're not small. It's not even right to say small things, but just having that knowledge and be able to schedule that can be where there's a huge efficiency and where you can also maximize your people. So now you're maybe one less person you need to hire, not because there's not jobs out there, just because people aren't available for these jobs now, right? So it's not as almost it's complex, but it's more available than maybe you think.
It is.
Or accessible.
Yeah, it is. I totally agree. And right now, when you talk to customers, it's all about maintenance planning and having everything aligned.
Yeah.
that they can bring in one group of contractors, take their line down for
Right.
4 days, and then bring that line up and maximize that efficiency for 14 weeks, 16 weeks, whatever that maintenance cycle is. We have customers that's doing that. We're a part of helping them do their shutdowns, and they go in and they know once they stop, they align everything to do all this work, because once they run again, they don't want to stop. So having to stop the plant is so costly at the moment.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to do that. So anything that you can offer to help them
Right.
to get from week 1 to week 16, it's on the table at the moment.
Yep. Gentlemen, thank you very much for doing this. It's an absolute honor to work with a company like Weir, who just, again, one of those brands that it screams quality. Everybody respects it. And it says something about when a company's willing to do multiple episodes to dive deeper and deeper into their products. It's because they're proud of what they're doing. There's nothing to hide. And that says a lot just right there. So thank you for doing it. I love doing these episodes with you. Hope we get to do it again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. As long as it's okay with both of you, we'll put a link to your LinkedIn's if you want to connect with either one of the guests or both the guests. And also make sure to subscribe. You can follow. We'll put Weir's LinkedIn as well if you want to follow them. And check out their YouTube and everything like that. Make sure to subscribe to Mining Now if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of Mining Now.